Audio Jungle.
All right, welcome to the Kasey podcast. Today we're going to be covering over who had the biggest impact on the world, Germany or Japan. And I'm up here with my co-star, Carson.
What's up?
So, first we're going to ask some questions.
So what do you think the motivations of Germany and Japan were as far as the war goes?
I think that Germany sought power over the world, and Hitler was driven mostly by the desire to reunite Germany and its people and all its country. And Hitler blamed the Jews for their lose in World War I and World War II, and over time, and they gained political power, and they promised to save Germany, and yet they kind of didn't. And then this in turn almost immediately gained power over the country. And though he was seen as a savior, he was also feared for those who feared about talking to them. So how much of an impact did the country want to make on the world?
So Germany wanted complete domination over the entire world. Hitler literally just wanted power over the entire world. He wanted to control the world, and he kind of almost got close to doing it. If we didn't interfere, he was beating the Russians at some times, and he was already invaded France, took over France, and Britain wasn't going to win if we didn't help them. So he was kind of close to his goal for total domination over the world. Japan really just kind of wanted control over the Pacific. They didn't really want to not saying that they didn't want to be involved with it, but they just kind of want they want us out of the equation. That's why they bombed Pearl Harbor in the first place. They want us out of the equation so they can, get in the war and not have anything to do, because they want to invade China. They wanted to have that and want control over the Pacific.
Do you think which country was more corrupt?
Well, both countries did horrible acts throughout the war.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
They did atrocious things. They did human experiments on each other, especially the Nazis. In the Holocaust, they would do countless experiments on Jews just to, see what would happen. They would, target people who maybe have blonde hair or blue eyes, and they would just target those people and just do horrible things on them just for the fun of it and just to see what they would do, even though they knew it was going to happen. They knew they were going to die, and obvious things, but they still did it. And Japan is in the same boat. They did horrible things for sometimes just the fun of it. And one of the most famous acts is not only the Holocaust, but they invaded Beijing, which countless people were murdered, and many women and children were just.
So which country did you think made the biggest damage during the war?
Well, Germany didn't really honestly do too much damage besides, obviously they did a lot of damage for France and stuff. They invaded those countries and stuff and destroyed multiple towns. But I feel like Pearl Harbor, well, I guess Germany did more damage because they destroyed almost an entire country. But all Japan really did was just bomb Pearl Harbor, which should cost us millions of dollars to repair. But they didn't, they only completely sunk 3 of the 7 ships they attacked.
The two, which one had the biggest impact?
I feel like despite all Germany did and how involved Germany was compared to Japan, I think Japan made the bigger impact because of the atomic bomb. And the atomic bomb, of course the Holocaust was horrible and killed millions of Jews, but as far as the whole world, I think the atomic bomb was, the most impactful thing, because that started potential nuclear warfare between especially Russia and the U.S. So that's what I think is the most impact as far as the whole world goes.
Thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast. There are a couple of verses that I want to say about how it contributes also to the war. The first one is Exodus 21:23. But if there is harm, then you shall pay life for life. Just like in war, how Germany comes and we have people suffering, we will be able to have a victorious war and everything like that.
Another verse that can go with this is Exodus 22:2, which talks about if a thief breaks in to your home and you kill them, then there shall be no blood guilt for them, meaning there shall be no guilt for them, which can sort of relate to how Pearl Harbor goes, and that they attacked us, but we still and retaliated with a nuclear bomb. But the question is, like, do we want to feel guilt for them or not?
Thank you guys for listening to the podcast.